When my son was in grade school, I would help out with various activities. And one day, he asked me to come because they were having an assembly that he was very excited about, mostly because it meant they weren't in the classroom. So I came and I led this class of little kids into the gym, and we went ahead with this assembly, which was horrible. The teachers were, being very strict with them. The kids weren't allowed to move, and I realized all of these children had been looking forward to this. I immediately, after taking the children back to their classroom, went to the office and asked to speak to the principal. Of course, once you say something, you're immediately put in charge. As I was researching, I found a pamphlet for young audiences of Northeast Ohio. I called to make an appointment. A few days later, I met Marcia. We talked about what young audiences provided for the children, what kinds of programming they could do for this age group. And the first assembly was an older African-American woman. She was amazing. She told the history of jazz. While singing, she would have the kids moving and dancing. Pretty soon the teachers were dancing. The janitors were dancing. The children learned. They had fun. It was just a fabulous experience. After completing a few years, we wanted to basically see if we could make it work and if children and teens would be interested in it. We planned a 2-week program at Shaker Square that summer. We started the interview process, and we got way more people showing up than we ever imagined. We learned that there was an audience. At that point, we ended up in 2008 at University Circle. We had gone from 50 students to 100 students, age 14 to 18. They came from over 55 private and public schools. Some of the kids were socioeconomically in much better shape than others. They were all different races and had broadened our ideas of what the arts could be and what the arts could offer. The point was not to convince these teens that they should go into the arts, but that they should incorporate it into their lives, whatever they ended up doing. There was a real turning point in one of the early ArtWorks summers where we took the apprentices to the Cleveland Museum of Art, upstairs to see the Monets. Just wanted them to just look at it through their own particular lens. Many of these teens had never been in the art museum. They were fascinated. When we returned to the ArtWorks site, their assignment was to paint how they were inspired by seeing this one painting and what it moved in them to create. Most had never put a brush to a canvas, but we wanted to see what they came up with. At the final performance, their canvases were on view along with what they wrote about the act of painting. And that to me was the most shocking part of the assignment. When you read what they were feeling, they were so articulate about their emotions. The arts are such a broad field, and it's broadening all the time, and yet people really don't count on the arts and humanities as being important to teach in school. Many of the students don't get this, or they get the most basic version of it. My hope is that through continuing ArtWorks and other programming, that it enlighten them in some way, that it bring a different vision of hope to their future.